Spirit asked me to record a Who I Am video today. Why might I be in a position to assist you in whatever you're experiencing? So who I am in this life, my name is Missy. That is the name I'm given. That's not my legal name. My legal name is Melissa. I just don't like it so much. Sounds like I'm in trouble. But if by name, we all have a name. I am one who in this lifetime had a series of traumatic experiences as a child. And those traumatic experiences resurfaced again in my adulthood. As these things sometimes do, because what I experienced as a child wasn't dealt with, and then was triggered by events in my adulthood that caused them to resurface. And so in today's world, we call that PTSD. They say I have post-traumatic stress disorder. So this I've had since I was a child, and the experiences of my childhood were put away, for the most part, like I put them behind a wall and didn't look at them. However, during one of these childhood traumatic experiences, I left my body and was comforted by the one we know as Jesus. So at the time, I was approximately 4 years old. A traumatic event was happening to I was experiencing a traumatic event. I left my body, and Jesus held me in his arms, and we watched from an elevated position this event occur. Together, we watched it. And he spoke some things to me. And the comfort I received from him stuck with me. Now, I didn't know who he was at that time in my youth, in my childhood. I didn't know who he was until a couple of years later. One of my grandmothers took me to a church, and I saw a picture of a man on the wall, and I asked her, "Grammy, who is that man?" And she said, "Oh, honey, don't you know who that is? That's Jesus." So then I had a name for the one. Now, the image I saw with my human eyes, the picture on the wall, did not look the same as the one, not exactly the same as the one who comforted me. But the energetic impression, the energetic intent, the essence was the same. So I knew it was the same as the one who comforted me. So I had this very real experience of Jesus the Christ in my childhood at a time when I was so very vulnerable and helpless and could do nothing for myself. So that experience in my childhood led me to seeking Jesus, seeking the Christ, seeking the comfort that I had in that moment. And it took me many places, took me physically many places, took me many places in my seeking, in my studying, in my exploration of Christianity, in my exploration of alternative religions around our planet. And I was a member at many different Christian churches and just could not find that perfect fit for me based on what I knew of Jesus. So, but in my exploration, I did look into some of the other religions around the world and found some common things there that resonated with me, but again, not everything. And so for many, many years, I was a seeker. I read a lot of great books. I still read books today, a lot of channeled texts. And everything I put out, everything I'm inspired to speak about comes from this place of having had this experience with Jesus. Okay, so it's when I hear things that are spoken, things that are being taught that don't resonate with that one who sat and held me and comforted me at that time when I was so vulnerable and powerless. I have a tendency to be inspired to speak out against or about or in attempting a correction to the things that don't resonate with that one that comforted me. And so why I was asked to do this about me, I have no idea. That's all. I am spirit having a human experience just like you. I am divine in my essence, as are you. I have free will, as do you. I am no different in that way. The only difference is that I remember things that many have not yet remembered. I have released and let go of a lot of biases and judgments that we are all trained into that many have not yet let go. That's the only difference. But at our core, we are the same. At our core, we are the same. The difference is I have shed some of the programming. That informs each and every one of us that we were indoctrinated into. And the program's a little different depending on what part of the planet you were born on, live in, surrounded by the cultures and, all of those things. So there is no difference between who I am and who you are at the level of God. We're the same. The difference is only in the human aspects. We all deal with the challenge of the human experience in our own unique ways, based on the filters, based on the perceptions we have, which are informed by our experiences, our culture, etc., 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 our sex, our race. And I would say we are one race. We are the human race. It doesn't matter what color skin you have. We are the human race. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what culture you are, you believe yourself to be. At the level of truth, we are all the body of Christ. At the level of truth, we are all the same culture. We are all the same race. We are all the same. In peace and in love, may you be blessed.